What? What on earth have I created, dude? This is insane. I've had this idea for a really long time now, and the 30-foot rail in front of the shop, this was actually like the precursor, the practice run, the trial run for this big grand idea I've had since the beginning. We built this about I think a year ago now, which is crazy. Not that I'm not now, but this was really early on in my fabrication journey, and it was my first time making like mountable plates that you actually bolt into something. It was my first time connecting multiple pieces of tubing, because this is the 3 10-foot sections of that 2-inch tubing. I think this is a seam right here. There's a smaller diameter tubing inside of that. Then you push the other 2 inches in there. That's what she said. Weld around it, grind it down to make it seamless, and that's how I was able to get, you know, a 30-foot rail. Again, that's the small scale version of this big idea I've had. That rail's 30 feet. The idea I have up here, it's gotta be we're gonna go measure it, but it's gotta be at least 4 times that size, which means 4 times the material, which means 4 times the material cost, which means this will be my most expensive fabrication project yet. Part of the reason I've been holding off for so long is I really wanna make sure I'm confident in my fabrication ability so I don't waste any material. Oh yeah, so do you guys remember me talking about this a while ago? This driveway has a nice mellow slope all the way down, and it also has, you know, this nice mellow sweeping kind of S curve that goes all the way down the driveway too. One day I came out here and I was just looking at these wood blocks, I don't even know what you call them, and from a certain angle it almost looks like a, you know, a skatable obstacle, just being able to go on, grind all the way down, like it'd be really sick. So I mean, I think you can see where I'm going with that. What if we actually make it like a legitimate skatable rail? I don't know if you guys remember this handy dandy tool. Oh yeah, good old school technology. See that little yellow tape mark on there every single time that makes contact with the ground? That is 5 feet. Yellow tape on the ground. We're about where I want the rail to start, and let's go all the way down. 140 right there, and then I mean we got what, like 143. We're gonna say 150 in case I want to start it earlier or end it later, in case I make mistakes, because I will. Damn, yeah. So it's 5 times longer than the rail down there. That's pretty gnarly. One of my biggest concerns. Wow, how are these? Oh, how are these in here? Oh, okay, I think they've just been here for 30 years since the house was built. My thought process is pretty simple here. Oh, I should really be wearing gloves for this, dude. There's so many spider webs in there. Essentially, I need to move everything out of the way. Oh, and then with, you know, everything gone, I want to clearly mark the perimeter, the edge of the driveway, and really get an idea of, you know, where everything's gonna go. Look at this. Dude, you can hear all of them. Dude, those are some big ants, bro. Trying to hold my finger up next to one for reference. Those things are big. Ooh, I don't like that. Today is just gonna be cleanup duty. I wanna go through and just kind of wipe everything. I wanna see where the asphalt ends, 'cause I have to figure out if I'm making little concrete pads that I'm gonna bolt into, or if I'm gonna do the same thing there where I use asphalt anchors. I don't really know what I'm doing. There we have it. We got a nice defined line all the way down the driveway. It's kind of interesting the way this was done. You can see like this was all buried, but it just sort of stops right here and then it goes to dirt. And then over here, all of a sudden we have another little concrete pad that goes on for a little bit. Still going, concrete, concrete, concrete. and then we're back at dirt again. So the concrete ends like right around there. I'm hoping we can bolt into this, but we will have to pour some like foot pads down the rest of it. Oh man, it might be time to go and get the material. Shit, that's the nerve-wracking part, because that's where it gets expensive. Well, it's officially the most expensive fabrication project yet. This is all we were able to pick up today. We got the 1/4-inch plate that's gonna be the feet that like mount onto the ground. And then we got 20 feet of the 2-inch and then 10 feet of the 1 3/4. They had to order the rest of it. That'll come in tomorrow. Oh, I really, really don't want to mess this up now. I got it. That's a lot of steel tubing. I went back and picked it up. Got the, I think I showed you that we got the plate already, because those are gonna be the foot plates. Very similar to how we did the small, calling that the smaller rail feels insane. That right there is 150 feet of steel tubing. This is gonna be crazy. Well, I do have somewhat of an idea of how I'm gonna do this and like the steps I need to take to make this work. I'm confident enough to start the project, but a lot of this I am kind of making up as I go. Step 1 is to form the actual rail. So all 15 of those 10-foot sections of tubing that I bought, you know, obviously right now they're straight, so you have these angles that we don't really want any of that. I want it to look like a natural sort of flow following the edge of the driveway. And that is where this bad boy comes into play. God, I gotta be more organized. Alrighty. So some of you guys might remember this. This is a tubing roller. I'm not even kidding when I say that every rail that I've built up until this point has literally been practice for this project. The purple rainbow rail that we made, as well as the orange reverse rainbow rail, were both made using that tubing roller, and those were my practice rails to figure out how to use the tool. That was made using a roller, that was made using a bender. Roller, bender. It took me an embarrassingly long time to differentiate those two tools. The tubing roller really is a relatively straightforward machine, right? All it really is a hydraulic jack, as well as some, you know, dies that match the diameter of the tubing, and you just jack it down, roll it around, and eventually it takes shape. Now, while in theory it's a really simple tool, it does take a little bit of finesse to do right. The most difficult part about using this is you have to avoid the tube rolling at all, because then you get sort of a corkscrew effect when we're going for more of a half pipe effect. So I have this line on the tubing as sort of my center point reference, and I have to make sure that that stays centered as I continuously roll this thing around. I don't know if you can see it, but I marked the start point right there, because that's where I want the roll to actually start, because that's where the curve starts in the driveway. And essentially I'm gonna roll each piece of tubing individually, put it back in place, move on to the next one, see if that one needs rolling, until we go all the way down the driveway. is impossible to look at this and not smile. Wow. You can see what I mean. So there's that 1 3/4, the smaller diameter tubing, and that's sort of the coupler that keeps them together. And then you weld that seam and grind that down. That's how you get, you know, a big, long, seamless rail like that one. So I went through, I cut out 14 of those little 6 or 5 inch sections. I forget what I did. Slapped them in between each and every seam to make sure they all line up and they're, you know, they're connected. The way down the driveway. The rolls came out flawless, dude. I am so happy with that. We really didn't even have to bend that many. We have this one and then a super slight bend in that one. Pretty long straight section right here. I think we had 2 that we had to give a really slight bend around this last corner. And then again, straight for a little bit. And then we had to slightly bend that last one there. This tree, this is going to take people out. And by people, I mean me. This tree is going to take me out. I might have to put like a crash mat or something on it. Because if you're going for a 50-50 and you're like leaning forward, you're gonna just, and you'll get going. Like, I guess you're going, you know, 15, 20 miles an hour by the end of this this rail here. That thing, that is going to be a tight squeeze right there. And then I chopped the end. You got kind of like a little bank to land in right there. Kind of hard to see. And then you're gonna shoot off there into the woods and you'll be fine. Oh my God, this is a great idea. There's 2 parts of this that I'm the most nervous about. And the first one was actually using the tubing roller to roll the tubing, and that went great. Usually things don't go great though. And if they do, that means I'm gonna mess up later, which makes me even more nervous for the second part, which is how we're gonna mount and space the legs throughout the rail. I trimmed 13 inches off of the end, which gives us 140 feet minus 13 inches. In total, we have 1,667 inches of rail. I did minus 24 inches because I want a foot of rail on each end, sort of like, no, not sort of like that at all, actually. The opposite of that. Like how we did that green or yellow one, how the last leg is there, but you still have a foot of rail coming off the end. Subtract 24 inches for a foot on each end, and that leaves us with 1,643 inches of rail. We take that number, we divide it by 13, because we want 13 individual equal segments. That gives us 126.38. So each leg, starting at 1 foot from the end, needs to be 126.38 inches from the last leg, if that makes any sense. In feet, that is 10 feet, 6.38 inches per leg. All right, so we're doing our first leg at 1 foot, and now we go down. There they are. We got all 14 of our leg or foot markers or whatever we're gonna call them at this point. This is actually starting to take shape in my head. Made myself a little shopping list that we gotta go pick up from Home Depot, and then we can get to the fun part. the vision now, right? This is gonna take a very long time. We got the 8-inch concrete form, tubing form, whatever it's called. I cut those down into 1 foot sections. You're supposed to do like 18 inches for fences. I've always been 6 inches short. Slapping those in there. They don't have to be completely flush because the nuts that hold the rail on are gonna be removable. So I want like a little bit of the concrete pillar sticking out so it doesn't get all like muddy and dirty and rust away. And then I'll grab a level to make sure those are level when I finally pour them. 2 down, 12 to go. Sun is setting. Garrett is tired talking about ourselves in the third person. We are. Sunset's really nice though. Dude, as I'm building this, I'm realizing how sick this is gonna be. Like, I've had a smile on my face. Like, off camera, I've just been looking at this smiling. Looking at like how insane the views are and just the sheer absurdity of the rail in general, obviously. I thought I was gonna be able to bolt directly into this concrete because you remember there's that weird section there. It's only like 1 inch thick, so I actually am gonna have to jackhammer that out and do the little cylinder things. We got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 holes dug. My new plan was to just have them flush with the driveway, regardless of this height, obviously. A lot of them do sit really nicely, as you can see there, but certain other ones, like this, they gotta stick up out of the ground a little bit because it dips down. Same with that one. That one's gonna have to stick out of the ground a lot. Yeah, I'll wrap this up tomorrow. Bright and early. Good morning. Let's get to work. I made an executive decision as I was laying in bed last night. It's pretty much gonna double my work, but I think it's worth it. My tubes are all 1 foot deep, and you can see at the bottom there, I have it ending, you know, right at the 1 foot depth mark. I think I'm gonna go through all of the tubes that I already did, pull them out, use the jackhammer, and go another foot deep, just not as wide. This part will be 8 inches, but then I will have it go deeper down, just so when I pour the concrete, there's extra footing down there. I've invested too much time and money into this already to half-ass it because I don't want to dig deeper holes. I'm sure I could get away with 1 foot, but I might as well do it right. We have every single post hole dug and leveled and ready. Minimum 2 feet in depth for each one. This is the second most nerve-wracking part of the build, pouring the concrete. Because like I'm getting my bearings when it comes to metal work. I don't know anything about concrete. I got about 1,000 pounds of high-strength concrete mix. I'm just gonna follow the instructions. Got a wheelbarrow ready and we're gonna fill these up. Oh my God, you can't even see me. Oh, 17 17 60-pound bags of concrete. That's 1,020 pounds. That took 8 hours and 19 minutes. I am going to be sore tomorrow. Oh my God. I mean, now it's really just a waiting game. We gotta let those dry and cure before we can go through and drill them and put these bad boys in, so. I'm already sore, dude. This isn't gonna be good. Oh, this is a hell of a project. We are getting close-ish. We got all of our legs all cut to size. But here we have another little technical thing that I've been trying to figure out how to do in my head, but I think I got it. So all of the footings that I poured, I made sure to level them so these are perfectly level or within, you know, a degree or so. The driveway obviously has a downward slope, so the driveway is not perfectly level. My thought process here is that because every single foot or leg for the rail is gonna have a different angle, what I was gonna do is we'll set something right there and we get our little angle finder and it tells us what the actual angle is. So I gotta go through for each pillar because like I said, each leg is gonna have a different angle. I'm gonna go through and take some notes in my phone of what that degree measurement is. And then when we take each leg down to the notcher down there, I know what angle to notch it at. In my head, that makes perfect sense. Here we got all of our measurements. You can see it starts out pretty mellow and then the slope gets gradually steeper and steeper. Now that I have these though, I'm gonna go through and notch all the tubes we just cut. Again, pretty simple tool here. This is a tube notcher. It has a hole saw and then it's got some measurements there. So I go through and adjust that angle as my phone said and we notch away. Wrapped up welding pretty late last night, but I was so locked in. It was like pitch black outside, obviously. I still came out and I set all of the legs in their corresponding spots on the concrete pilings or pillars or foot pads. I don't even know what we're calling them. This is my first time seeing them in the morning, like in the daylight, and dude, it's actually taking shape. Can you see them all? Oh my God. I poured the concrete 3 days ago now. The problem is it's supposed to rain tomorrow, the next day, and the day after. I don't want all this stuff to rust because it's, you know, it's gonna be sitting out in the rain. I have these like wedge anchors that, if I understand them correctly, as you tighten the nut down, that expands within the hole, and that's what grips it. That's what gives you that good grip in there. Because the concrete isn't fully cured yet, I think it's green in the concrete world, I've learned. That's what it's called. Got ourselves a masonry bit, and we're good to drill the holes. We're just not good to fully tighten it, because it doesn't have the like horizontal strength it needs yet. But I think it's time. I think we get to start drilling our holes in lightly and like loosely mount everything, and then work on getting the actual rail itself on there. The goal is to get it I done. I get the rail itself done and painted so it can be out in the rain. Also, just for sort of my own personal use, I wanted to show my welds, my TIG weld, because I'm nowhere near like a good welder, but I will take all the practice I can get, which is part of the reason that I TIG welded all of these as opposed to MIG welding, just to try to get some practice in. And obviously they're not perfect, but they sure are better, so I'll take that. Yeah, all right, all the welders in the comments are gonna roast me, but that's fine. All right, let's get to drilling. I don't even have it in me to skate right now. Oh my god, it hurts to move. I am drained, dude. I was doing the math. 53 hours of actual working time, like actual labor hours, went into getting this rail done. 1,026 pounds of concrete loaded into my truck, mixed in a wheelbarrow, loaded into the pillars, whatever we call them. Obviously I think we ended up getting 165 feet of tubing because we had to make the legs and everything. I can't stop looking at it. I also went through and I cut out these little caps for the end of the rail so rainwater can't get in there to help it last longer. As you can tell from this, we also just hit it with some black spray paint just to keep it from rusting. Here's one of the joints. You can see you go through and weld all of it and then grind it down with an angle grinder to get it pretty smooth and unnoticeable. Oh my god. Skies are blue and sunny right now, but it's supposed to rain in 8 hours and it's gonna rain for the next 3 days. I didn't fully crank down all of the nuts for the expansion anchors or whatever they're called. The concrete is nowhere near fully cured yet. So I'm gonna let this chill till after the rain, let the concrete cure for a few more days, then fully tighten everything, crank it all down. Oh my god. Today's the day that we finally get to skate it. I will say though, the weather's not playing nice. You can see the storm clouds moving in over the mountains over there. We just had 3 days of rain, but I pulled up the weather here, and now it says today, tomorrow, and the next day are also supposed to rain. I went through and I tightened all of the anchors accordingly. I gave the trees a little bit of a pruning so we can actually go down. The only thing we're battling is the weather. You can hear it. The winds are really coming over the... Oh, she's coming in, baby. She's coming in. Oh, yep. Storm is a brewing. It's 3:25 p.m. right now. It says the rain is supposed to start around 5 p.m. So we got, what, an hour and a half? Oh, man. I always feel bad putting the first marks on a rail, especially, like, this was, what, 6 cans of spray paint? It's like an hour and a half of painting alone. We just gotta scuff it up. I don't even know if I want to wax it, because I think I'm gonna get going faster than I think. Oh my god. There's a whole cliff right there. Obviously, the more down the rail you get, the mellower that little, I don't know if we can call it a cliff, but that hill is. Up here, it's like you really don't want to fall right at the beginning because that actually does drop down about 8 feet. I really just want to get past, that tree trunk first. I landed it, it counts. All right, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. No, imagine that's all I did. My heart's racing right now, dude. Dude, I don't even know how to film this. Do you know how hard it is to wake up and see this thing staring at me through my bathroom window and not being able to skate it after dedicating over the past week of my life to making this? I refuse to let the rain stop me. I will say, we have a hell of a view this morning. I love the way the clouds look peeking over the trees there. God, the world is cool, man. Look at that. It's just the worst timing for the cool weather, because normally I love weather like this, but I really want to skate this rail. As you can see, we did get a break in the rain, but the ground is still just a little bit wet. Maybe it's like nature's wax though. You know, it's a sign for me to skate this thing. It's definitely gonna make this a little slipperier. If I go over that, I'm sliding all the way down. I also could not for the life of me figure out how to film this yesterday, so my dad came over today and he's given us the dad cam angle. What are your thoughts on this creation?
I hope you don't get hurt.
Me too. Yeah, see, already the water acts as a nice lubricant, so I think we should be good to go. Oh, it's definitely slipperier. Oh my god! I thought I'd be able to get away with no wax just because of the slope of it, but I do think I'm just making it harder for myself because I can feel it kind of sticking at the first, 10 feet. So my balance is all wonky. This is either gonna be a good or a terrible decision. Most new rails are sticky because it's just a fresh layer of spray paint, and I'm slowly grinding through that, hoping that it gets easier. I'm like at the very first section of it. I'm like, oh, this one feels good. And I look up for a second and there's 100 feet of rail left. Oh no, come on! Oh my god. Who put that tree there? No! Well, we meet again, this rail and I. I was almost gonna set up a new board. You can see that we didn't set up a, I mean, listen to this. It's very, not good. Very waterlogged, yeah. Our bearings. Isn't that a great sound?
Delicious.
I was gonna wait till it all dried up, but all of that's muddy anyway. So it's like, I know I'm gonna go over. I don't wanna ruin another board. We got Ty behind the camera today as well. Hey. Let's just start trying, dude. That's going. What
do you say, first try?
Yeah, easy. I would have landed already, but I just needed like a dramatic effect for the YouTube video. So I figure like the longer the battle, the better the video will be, you know. Putting our bra on today.
Strapping up.
Our skate bra. All right, let's get it. God, I thought that was it.
Yeah.
I felt it go.
Oh, dude.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was really fun. That was exhilarating. Look at the groove in my truck. Can you see that?
Yeah, on top. Yeah, it's like a fresh groove.
Because these trucks were pretty new, so it fully. I wonder if that made it harder not having like any groove to walk into.
Oh, probably.
Damn. Well, we got it done. God damn. It took much longer than I was. Dude, in my head, I was like, I'm thinking 50-50, Smith, feeble, maybe kickflip 50. I mean, you can skate it a million different ways. Like, I think I'll have more fun skating it. Like, pop on, do a couple of flat ground tricks, pop on again. You know what I mean? Like, there's a million different ways to skate it. I had to do the whole thing, or at least close. Like, I think I'm all-ing like 6 inches, early.
Yeah.
Cue all the comments didn't count because you popped out 8 inches early or whatever.
Yeah.
I will take it. God.
Even the geese are cheering.
The geese are like, yeah! The geese are like, nah, it took way too long, bro. Well, shit, I mean, thank you guys for watching the video. This was a long video, and I appreciate anyone that made it all the way through. Both my dad, who came over yesterday to help film, and Ty, who came over today to help film. Thank you both.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
This should be fun. I got a lot of fun ideas. Like, I want to see how many people we can get grinding the rail at one point. At one time, so.
That'd be sick.
Open to any and all ideas that you guys want to see as well, so let me know in the comments. This was fun, though. Like, this is the direction I want to take this channel, kind of combining fabrication and skating and just fun. I like building stuff, man. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Catch you next video. Peace out.